Okay, I'm going to tell you about loop spaces. So say you're given some shape. Maybe look like this. Let's give it a name. Let's say that it's X. Now on that shape, you can start drawing loops. So for example, you can do this. You can also do this. But really, you can go as crazy as you want. So you can come here, make it a bit squiggly. Maybe you go back here. Maybe you join it there. Okay, you can do whatever you want as long as you start and end at the same point. Right, so if you forget about the underlying space X and then just think about all the possible loops that you're able to draw on that shape, that set of loops itself constitutes a space. You can put it all together, and that's topological space. We call it the loop space of X and denote it by Lx. This space Lx formally is made up of all the possible functions, continuous functions from a circle to my space X. So how is that so? Well, if I have a circle here, then a specific function is a rule that tells me how to assign to each of the infinitely many points on the circle a point here on my space. All right, so any of these loops that I draw are one example of a function from the circle to the space. So we have this message here. So loop spaces are very big, they're very difficult to understand, but they have interesting geometry and interesting shape. So what do I mean by very big? Well, if X is something that I can draw like this shape in 3D, this surface, the loop space does not fit in 3 dimensions. It actually does not fit in finitely many dimensions. So it's this very big monster, but we don't have to worry about that. So loops appear all over the place in science. Sometimes they're very apparent and easy to spot. If you, for example, see a loop on a surface, or if you see a cross-section of some cells or things like that. But they can also come in ways that are less obvious. So whenever you have some biological process that is periodic, you can think of it as a sort of loop. Also, like if you have some signal, maybe a video that is looping, that's also an instance of a loop on some space. I am an algebraic topologist. A general philosophy of algebraic topology is that topology, so shapes and continuity and so on, are hard, are very difficult. So it is often convenient to translate the problems into algebra, where we can make use of algebraic structures such as operations. And once we are in that algebraic world, we have access to methods that are more computational in nature. So we can provide algorithms and implementations, perhaps in computers, where we can actually quantify some of this invariants and descriptors of the shape of some surface, for example. So if this is our topological picture, there is an analogous picture in algebra. And the idea is the following. We replace our space by an algebraic object. In this case, it'll be a coalgebra, but you don't need to worry about that. That is storing a lot of this information about the shape of that space. And then from this coalgebra, we can construct some loops from it and get a version that's algebraic of this loop space. Now the point of this construction is that from this algebraic object, we can do some computations that will give us information about the shape of this very big, very mysterious loop space. This method is very general, and that makes it very powerful, as X can really be, a surface, maybe a 3-dimensional surface, but it can even be higher dimensional, however many dimensions you want. It could be a space of parameters, something that you care about in your own work. Or you can plug in a network, and then the loop space is recording some sort of connectivity information about your network. So really, this setting is applicable to a very wide variety of problems.